All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. We are live, so I would ask that you would mute your computers so that we don't pick up your background noises. And if you have questions as we go through today's information, please go ahead and unmute yourself and you can ask me, as well as we'll have time at the end of today's presentation for any questions that you might have. Today's topic is called Training New Distributors, and I want to show you some of the tools and resources that have been created to help not only you, but also help you as you bring new distributors into your Synergy business to be able to help them understand how to build their Synergy business by using some of the tools and resources that we've created for them. Now, you should be able to see in the upper left hand in my browser window, I have the URL address, oursynergyfamily.com. So when you start the training process, either for yourself or for a new distributor, this is the URL that you need to remember because this is the platform or the website that we host all our training material. Synergy Worldwide has been creating some excellent training tools that we're going to begin to incorporate into our platform. But right now, this is the go-to place for you and your distributors. Again, it's oursynergyfamily.com. And if you do that, you're going to come to this page. And the first thing that you want to do personally, as well as the first thing that you want to do for each of your new distributors, is to watch this opening introductory video. It's just slightly short of 6 minutes, but it'll help them understand our mission statement. It will help them understand how to use this website. It'll help them understand what each of these different icons mean and what it can do to help them with regards to tools and resources that they have available to them to develop their Synergy business. Now, once they've watched the introductory video, the two key places that you will spend most of your time in is bookend. Just like a bookend that holds up your books, we've got resources on the left-hand side and training on the right-hand side. Those are the two key icons and two key places that you're going to find the bulk of the material that you need to build your Synergy business. And we're going to spend some time today on the training icon. So if you take your cursor, hover it over the icon or over the, you'll click on that and it's going to take you to our training page for Synergy Worldwide. And as you scroll down, you're going to notice that we have some steps. It's important for you as well as your new distributors to go through these 7 different steps. There's 7 steps that we recommend that people take to begin the process of building the infrastructure to operate a successful Synergy business. And the first one is to have them set up their back office in Synergy Worldwide. We have a training video that you can click on, as well as there's some new resources that Synergy Worldwide has created that will help a person understand how to set up their back office and be able to use that back office effectively. The next thing is step 2, understand Synergy's compensation plan. Now, there are 7 streams of income in Synergy Worldwide, and this video will help people understand all 7 streams of income, but there are 2 key streams of income that you want your new distributor to understand because they're the ones that are going to create the cash flow to be able to help them operate and grow their Synergy business. So when they watch this video on Synergy's compensation plan, in this video that you can click on, we highlight those 2 key components to creating financial income. Those 2 key components are what are called elite rebates and fast start bonuses. Now, before I go to step 2, I just want to take a brief couple minutes to help people on today's call understand how important these 2 key components are. So the first one is elite rebates. We operate here in North America, and so for us in the United States, we have a threshold that once we hit that threshold on what's called our Tracking Center 1, which is the main hub that all of your Synergy business revolves around, once we have 150 CV of volume, whether it comes from personal orders, monthly auto ships, or any of our customer orders, Once we've hit that threshold, anything in CV volume above that allows us to earn a 25% return. So for example, I have a fairly new distributor. His name is Dan Garoy. Dan's been involved in Synergy now for coming up to 3 months. And Dan's gone through this process of going through his 7 steps. He's gotten step number 3 done with business cards. He's identified his marketing strategy, which again is step number 6. He's connected into our live Saturday training programs. He's working to be Elite Honors qualified. He's made his list of names of people. Plus, Dan is beginning to do presentations where he goes to the local YMCA, and they have a market day at the beginning of at once a month, and he invests, I think it's $20 to be there, and he sets up a booth, a table, and he begins to talk to people. So for Dan, he's relatively new in the business. Now, so far for the month of November, he has 400 CV of volume on his Tracking Center 1. So if you subtract that threshold of 150, that means he's earned a 25% rebate on 250 CV of volume, which is $62.50. Now, that's not financial independence, but it's the start of moving towards that. So I'll give you another example. I have a distributor. His name is Arnold Broad. Like Dan, Arnold started in the Synergy business and began to learn how to market himself, just like Dan is learning how to market himself. All marketing is letting people know what you're doing. You're either going to let them know what you're doing with regards to products, or you're going to let them know what you're doing with regards to the business opportunity, or a combination of both. So Arnold has focused almost exclusively on helping people understand the power of nitric oxide therapy to address men's health issues: high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, cholesterol concerns, diabetic complications. And so as he's helped men understand how to implement nitric oxide therapy with our product of choice, ProArginine Plus, which ProArginine Plus being the only L-arginine supplement recognized by the medical community, listed now for 5 consecutive years in the physician's desk reference, the only clinically proven L-arginine supplement in the marketplace. As Arnold has learned those key unique selling positions or points about ProArginine Plus and shared them with his clients or his potential customers who have now become his clients, he is building a large client base. So far for the month of November, the amount of CV volume on Arnold's Tracking Center 1 is 3,090. Subtract out the 150 threshold, so he's getting paid a 25% rebate, elite rebate, on 2,940 CV of volume. What does that mean to him in terms of cash flow? It means that he's put $735 in his pocket. Synergy Worldwide has paid to him $735 so far for the month of November into his pocket, into his checking account. That's cash flow to operate his business. Now, it's not yet financial independence, but that would certainly take care of most people's mortgage payment. You know, if you didn't have to pay your mortgage payment for the month because your Synergy business was creating enough income to cover it, what would that do? Or the other way of looking at it is, if you're already paying your mortgage, you now have $750 of extra, or in this case, $735 of extra income coming into your family. What can that do to allow you and your family to do things that you might not have been able to do? And Arnold's goal is to build his customer base. And as he's seen that, as he's acquired new customers, as he's helped them in follow-up to be able to use the product properly, that they're getting good results and now are reordering, basically reordering the Jumbo Jar Plus One program, where they're getting the big Jumbo Jar in the box of single-serve sticks. He's getting multiple reorders every month, in addition to marketing himself to create new customers. As he builds that large customer base, his goal is to get to 10,000 CV of volume on his Tracking Center 1. Now, for the last 3 months consecutively, he's run over 4,000 CV of volume, sometimes close to 5,000 CV of volume on his Tracking Center 1. So he's almost 50% to his goal. Now, if he reaches his goal of 10,000 CV of volume on his Tracking Center 1, that's going to earn him about $2,500 in cash flow every month for a part-time business. Pretty good. So the reason why I bring up these two examples is because you want to help your new distributor understand how to put money into their pocketbook. Now, the other key component to this compensation plan is called mega matches. So for those that are on today's call, some of you have been with Synergy Worldwide for a long period of time. Some of you are new to Synergy Worldwide. Simply stated, a mega match is a dollar-for-dollar match on the basic commission of every person that you have personally sponsored into Synergy Worldwide. It doesn't matter whether they're one generation from you or whether they're 1,000 generations away. It doesn't matter whether they're on your left side or your right side. It doesn't matter whether they're on what we would call your weak leg or your strong leg. If you've personally sponsored them and you're qualified on your Tracking Center 1 and they're earning a basic commission, then you're going to match their basic commission dollar for dollar. So that means that you have a vested interest in the success of every person that you personally sponsor. Now, understand that you can't do the work for them, but what you do need to do is come alongside them, help them understand where their resources are, and help them go through this training program that we put together and the steps that are necessary to help them build the infrastructure to successfully grow a Synergy business. So you start with step 1 and help them get their back office set up. You start with step 2 and have them watch this video. All you have to do is click on this image and this video plays right on the page. And if you want to enlarge it, you can. And so you want to have them understand the compensation plan, especially how they can create cash flow into their Synergy business. And then the third step is to help them understand how to get their business cards, because their business cards begin to identify them as having a business. Again, understand that when a person becomes a Synergy distributor, they are operating a business within Synergy Worldwide. And as a business, there's some things that they need to do as a business owner to be successful. One, begin the branding process of who they are. And secondly, letting people know. Well, one of the easiest ways that you can let people know what you're doing is through a business card. Plus, it gives a professional look to who you are. Plus, it helps you create an identity to who you are. So help them get their business cards, either through Vistaprint, or now that Synergy Worldwide has a robust relationship with Sound Concepts, you can go on to Sound Concepts and get your business cards directly through them. And the nice thing about Sound Concepts is your shipping is free. Anything that you do from a what I would call a print standpoint, whether it be business cards or pass out cards or brochures or tear sheets, all that stuff can be gotten now through Sound Concepts, and it all comes to you freight free. There is no shipping costs for here in the United States. The next step is step 4. Stay connected by helping them understand that, like you, we have a live training program every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you don't need to worry about them finding the URL to connect, because if you're training them on this page, you can see that the connection to our Zoom platform is directly on this page. All they have to do is click on that link that I've now put my browser over, and you've seen the color change. All they have to do is click on that link, and they can then connect every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if they're in a different time zone, they just need to adjust for their time zone, and they can join us live every Saturday morning for this type of training. We try and make our live Saturday morning trainings effective in helping you understand skills and resources that will help you grow your Synergy business. Step number 5, help them understand the Elite Honors program. Doesn't mean that every month they will be Elite Honors, because there's 2 components to it. It's having 600 CV of volume on their Tracking Center 1, and it's personally sponsoring a new distributor in that month. So for example, if I go back to Dan Garoy, who I talked about earlier, Dan's already at 400 CV of volume on his Tracking Center 1, and we're at the 17th of the month for the month of November, 17th day of the month. So he still has about 2 more weeks left in the month to continue to acquire customers, which will increase his CV volume on his Tracking Center 1, hopefully to 600 or more. And at the same time, if he brings in a new distributor, then that new distributor will help him qualify to be Elite Honors qualified for that month. There are some incentives that as people go along and build their volume on their Tracking Center 1 and are Elite Honors qualified, Synergy has some incentives in place to reward people for being Elite Honors qualified. Step number 6 is really critical. Determine your marketing strategy. And as we scroll down this page, we help people understand we have 3 key marketing strategies, as well as we have some other marketing strategies that people can adapt based upon what resonates with them. Now for me, nitric oxide therapy is my key marketing strategy. 98% of all my client base use Pro-Arginine Plus. I have some other clients that use Mystica and Cork or Essential Greens and some of the other Synergy products, but 98% of my clients use Pro-Arginine Plus. So if you click on that image, it will take them to a dedicated training page just on nitric oxide therapy to begin to help them understand their key resource tools for nitric oxide therapy, as well as some key videos, especially this one here, Unique Selling Properties for Pro-Arginine Plus. I already shared 2 of them with you today. I didn't have to see it. I've been using and sharing Pro-Arginine Plus. So again, it's all a process. Just like a person starts a new job, there's a period of training and growth that goes on. They don't know everything when they first start a new job that they would know a year later in that job. This business here in Synergy Worldwide is no different. So again, help them identify the training or the marketing strategy that best resonates with them. Nitric oxide therapy with our product of choice, Pro-Arginine Plus, or maybe they want to really focus on gut health and help people with weight management issues. Then microbiome research with our product of choice, the Biome Kits and other microbiome products from Synergy Worldwide. Maybe they are into skincare. They came out of one of the other skincare companies. And so that's what resonates with them. So you can help them understand how to implement a holistic skincare marketing program using our product of choice, the True Lume skincare line. As you go down here, underneath each of these, we have a video that helps them understand the strategy for each one of these core programs. So, this video will give them an overview of that strategy and the key resources that they need to help them implement. Now, we also have natural energy through a fantastic product called E9. There's so many people out there that are drinking caffeinated drinks, whether they be energy drinks or they're going to Starbucks or other coffee locations to get their caffeine fix to wake them up and get them going. Well, we've got a great product in E9. Again, there's a video that will help them understand this marketing strategy. Maybe they know a lot of people that are on statin drugs. We have a fantastic product called Metabolic LDL. Maybe they want to join our Million Lives project and adapt that strategy like David Munoz has adapted it for the Hispanic community. Or Judy Feldhausen has adapted it for health professionals. Again, you can watch this video for the Million Lives project, and then you can understand how you can adapt that Million Lives project as your core marketing strategy, because you want to maybe focus on both nitric oxide therapy and microbiome research to help people address their cardiovascular health issues as well as reset their gut health for other health issues. So you, as the sponsor for a new distributor, it's to your best interest, because of the mega match, to come alongside the people that you personally sponsor and help them begin this process of learning how to build their infrastructure within their synergy business. Again, set up the back office, understand the compensation plan, especially elite rebates and mega matches, get their business cards, help them understand the importance of connecting on Saturday mornings. And if they don't connect on Saturday mornings, making sure that I get their name and email address so that we can send them an email newsletter on Tuesdays that has a recording of today's presentation. Or every Saturday, we record that presentation. We then host it up on our YouTube channel, which I'll show you in just a second. And we also send it out in an email to all the people in my MailChimp database. Understand Elite Honors qualified, but most importantly, let's determine your marketing strategy, what resonates with you. And then step 7, let's start making a list of names, not 100 names, not 300 names. Let's start with 20 names. Let's get 20 names on a piece of paper and then determine our marketing strategy to those 20 individuals. Again, we have a video that helps you understand how to do that process. And if you want to send an email, what the email should look like. If you want to make a phone call, what you should do with regards to a phone call, so that you can do email, phone call. And if you maybe want to meet that person at a Starbucks or a Panera Bread or some type of location, or go to their home or have them come to your home, or maybe they live all across the country and you can get your own free Zoom account. You can go to Zoom, get a free account, and you can have them click on your Zoom link, and you can do a presentation just like I'm doing with you today. By helping them do you could do a presentation on either the product or the business opportunity, or a combination of both, to show them marketing, letting people know what you're doing, whether it be product or business or a combination of both. Those are the 7 steps. Now, the rest of this is all designed to enhance those 7 steps. So like we talked about, when it comes to determining your key marketing strategy, all this information is to help you, once you've identified it, help you implement that marketing strategy. You know, we can talk all we want about what we want to do, but until we actually implement it, no one's ever going to know what we're talking about. So I've been involved with enough boards and other community events that when you sit around with people and talk about stuff that needs to be done, that's great from a standpoint of talking, but nothing will ever happen until you implement. Implementation is always the key to everything. We can talk till we're blue in our face, but until we implement, nothing's going to change, nothing's going to happen. So you, as a sponsor for your new distributor or for other synergy distributors that you've sponsored, help them implement. Now, understand that you can't do it for them, but you can help them and encourage them to implement. And then if people just won't implement, at some point in time, you just need to let them go and work with people that want to implement, because those are the people that you're going to help build. You'll come alongside, help them build their synergy business, which means that they're going to be earning elite rebates because they're gaining customers, and at the same time attracting people to them that also want to do the business. I mean, if for like Arnold, I know Arnold doesn't focus on, at this point in time, focus on team members. He focuses all on customers. But you know what? He can help a person who wants to come into the synergy business that he sponsors understand how to effectively market and grow a customer base. Well, if he had that person placed on his left-hand side, he would now begin creating volume on his left-hand side because his right-hand side is his strong leg. He has huge amounts of bank volume in his right-hand leg. So everyone that he brings into Synergy Worldwide would go on his left-hand leg. And as that volume increased on his left-hand side, he'd start earning a basic commission, which then, because I'm his sponsor, would help. I would mega match that. David Munoz, who I saw earlier up on the screen, David has done a fantastic job of taking the nitric oxide therapy and the Million Lives Project as two marketing strategies and adapt that to his community, the Hispanic community here in Chicago, called the Hispanic Health Initiative. And David has done a fantastic job in terms of helping, one, create a large client base here in Chicago, and secondly, other like-minded distributor or other like-minded people in the Chicagoland area that have become distributors who are now building large client bases for the product Project Plus. So David is being able to see his left-hand leg, which again is his weak leg, because his strong leg has a huge amount of bank volume on it. All his efforts can go into his left-hand side, which is now creating for him a nice residual income in terms of basic commission. And the nice thing for me is it's worth my time and effort to work with David because I'm mega matching off of his basic commission. It's working with the individuals that you sponsor to help them implement strategies to help them be successful. And quite frankly, if they're more successful than you, fantastic. That's the beauty of the Synergy Compensation Plan. I would love to see David be way more successful than I am because it would mean two things. One, it would mean that in the Hispanic community, David is touching thousands and thousands of lives and helping them enjoy the benefits of nitric oxide therapy for improved cardiovascular health and all the issues that improved cardiovascular health can address through nitric oxide therapy. So we will help a lot of people improve their health and at the same time see a lot of growth in David's organization, which means that his basic commissions will continue to increase, which also means that I will see a larger mega match. And then the beauty about that is as David is applying this information to the people that he's personally sponsored and helping them build their client base, earning elite rebates for cash flow, as well as adding new distributors underneath them to create for them basic commission. Those are people that David has sponsored. Now he has the opportunity to earn mega matches off of the people that he's personally sponsored and helping them grow their Synergy business. All this stuff is all related, but you have to implement. So part of the implementation process is having some key skills to help you accelerate your Synergy business. One of those key skills, learn how to share your testimonial. Not a testimonial that runs 5-10 minutes long and puts people to sleep, but a 30, 45, no more than a minute testimonial that is impactful, that has people wanting to know more information, or learning the skill that we call the art of asking questions, so that you can ask people key questions and then be able to ask them a primary question that causes them to want more information, want more information, desire more information because you've asked a series of questions. Now, as people grow, as you bring business builders into your Synergy business, you also want to understand how to properly sponsor and place them into your Synergy organization. Again, we have a video here in this training page that helps you as well as your new distributors understand how to properly place people in their Synergy organization so that they can maximize the Synergy compensation plan and take advantage of other things that Synergy has put in place outside of the compensation plan, like the Title Plus program, so that as people properly sponsor people underneath their tracking center at 1, placing them on their left and right-hand sides, that they can then see volume increase on their left and right-hand sides because they're teaching people how to do what? Acquire customers, attract business builders, so that as their organization grows, it helps your organization grow. And as you see the volume on your left and right-hand sides grow, you're going to hit different rank advancements in Synergy Worldwide. That's going to allow you to earn additional income that is outside the compensation plan that Synergy Worldwide has put in place as an additional incentive to help you build your Synergy business the right way. Again, a video, sponsoring and placement. Learn how to do a business presentation. I had talked to you earlier that you can go to Zoom and get your own free Zoom account. And then in your marketing strategy, as you put 20 names down on the paper and you decide, you know, I think this person would be fantastic in the business and I would love to work with that person. So you could send them an email or a brief call to them and say, Joan, you know, I've watched you for a long time. I think you're a great business person. I've just recently gotten involved in a business with a health company that is bringing some remarkable products to the industry. Joan, would I be able to have about 5 to 10 minutes of your time so that I could show you what this looks like and get your feedback? What would be a good day and time for you? And you establish that day and time with that person. Great, Joan, I'm going to send you my Zoom link because you're in California, I'm in Chicago. We can meet on Zoom. Let's set the day and time, and then I can actually show you what this looks like. Now, what that says to Joan, if Joan accepts the offer and sets the time with you, is that when you do this, you're also showing to Joan that there are resources that she would have available to her, a system that she would have available to her, and a process that she would have available to her to help make this easier. She doesn't have to recreate this. All she has to do is follow a system that already has information created. Now, here's a great video. This is from one of our live Saturday presentations where we showed you how to do a business presentation. And then utilizing Synergy's tear sheet. So there's a direct link to the Synergy Advantage tear sheet. There's a direct link to the 7 ways to get paid tear sheet. You can choose which tear sheet you like the best and then tailor your program accordingly. And this video gives you guidance on how to do it. Or maybe you want to use some pass out cards because you're doing something like Dan is doing at the YMCA. You can go, if you live in any kind of metropolitan area, there's YMCAs all around you. There's health clubs all around you. You can go and contact those health clubs and those YMCAs and see if they do any kind of monthly public opportunity for merchants in the area to come and be able to set up a table inside the facility so that if people have interest in what you're doing, they can stop by and you can talk to them. It's a great way for you to practice your skills and get better so that as you talk to other people that you know on your list of 20, and once you've exhausted that list of 20, you start your next list of 20. Again, if you're doing list of 20, it's not overwhelming. And it's a process. You go through your first 20, and then you make your next list of 20. And you go through that 20, and you make your next list of 20. And you continue that process to build your client base and potential people who might want to join you in Synergy Worldwide. Plus, we give you videos on simple phone scripts to use, simple email campaign that you can use, engaging posts on Facebook if that's what you want to do from a social media standpoint. And then, as I shared with you, also help people stay connected with us. We have a dedicated Facebook page. We have a dedicated YouTube channel. If you click on that link for YouTube, I just did, this is a really important place for you to find information because we don't post everything that we do on Saturday morning up onto the website. But as you can see, when I clicked on that link, I now go to all the videos that we've done on Saturday morning presentations. And I can go down and I can scroll through this and I can look at these different things and I can see what might what might trigger something that I might want to do. Oh, okay, here's some green food products. Okay, I'm really into green food products. I've got a lot of friends that are vegetarian and vegans. Let me click on here to see what kind of products that Synergy Worldwide has. Or as we just recently did, marketing vegan products. We did that 2 weeks ago. Marketing vegan products. And again, you can watch that video and learn additional things that might not necessarily be on the training page to help you in this process of understanding what to do. Now, before I do anything else, do I have any questions from anyone on today's call with regards to anything that you've seen in the training program that you would like to ask me about or have a comment about?
Hey, Dan, this is Dave.
Yes, Dave.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you.
First of all, thanks for putting all this stuff together. It's a lot of information. And I just got a couple of things to add, Dan. And that is that one is that individuals need to, when you implement these tools, you need to be yourself. If that's maybe an overused term, but it's so true. Just state your testimony. Casually talk to people about what you found and how it's impacted you and your family. Tell them, it's something that you believe in your heart, it's for real, and that's why you're sharing it with them. Don't try to sell them anything. Just tell them your personal story. Say how it has helped you and the people you have been around. Then, don't forget to leverage your sponsor. Your sponsor is the resource you can use for a three-way call or to help you with any situation you might have that you maybe want some advice before you go into the situation or the person you're going to talk to. Or as Dan says, implement the Zoom platform and maybe have a three-way call or maybe a group calls where you can participate in the presentations and look at the videos and learn from the slides and feel comfortable with the material. It's a lot of information this morning, but take it piece by piece, step by step. But the most important thing, Dan, I'd say is talk from your heart, and the approach you take has got to be from the heart, not because you want to sell them anything. That's the and that's the end goal. Obviously, we're all in this for business. We all want to make money, but if you approach it from a sincere approach, that you really want to share something valuable that you found, at least in my business, I found that goes really, really far when you talk to a person, especially the first time. And if they say thank you, that's it, and the call ends there, that's okay. Remember, most sales takes 2 or 3 or 4, 5 to 7 touches before you get a sale. Just stay in touch, ask how they're doing. If they're using it for the first time, follow up, and then you will see results in time. But don't give up and always speak from your heart. That's basically what I have to add, Dan, because that's what's really helped me.
David, I appreciate that. And before you go, and before someone else asks us a question, I just wanted to highlight 3 things that you talked about. First off, as you were talking about doing a 3-way with your upline sponsor, most people look at that as doing a 3-way on a telephone. Well, you can do a 3-way on Zoom. Now, I've done this with Dan Garoy. I've shared Dan Garoy. I've shared with him my Zoom link, and then he brought a person over to his home, and then we set a time. He connected on Zoom. I connected on Zoom, and so basically that was a 3-way. Dan was there with his potential client, and I did a presentation for him. And then his client asked me questions. And the nice thing about that is Dan learned by watching me do, so that now Dan can do it on his own. So as you talked about, utilize your upline. And if your upline isn't working with you, then go up, until you find someone who will work with you. Or sometimes you might have to go cross-line where you can work with an individual that you have a good relationship with. You also mentioned follow-up. Well, David did a great presentation 4 Saturdays ago on follow-up techniques. Here's his video right here. So again, if you go onto the training page for our Synergy family and you click on this link for YouTube and you go to our YouTube channel, there's a great video that David did on follow-up. And so David, I have one last thing I want to ask you a question on. When you first started the business, you focused on trying to help people understand the benefits of ProArginine Plus. My question to you is this: when you changed your strategy to helping people understand nitric oxide therapy, did that significantly increase your ability to acquire customers?
You got it, Dan. It sure did. And the reason, the real reason that made the difference, Dan, obviously is talking about the science of nitric oxide therapy. When I learned it, it clicked. It really clicked, Dan. It made me understand it and explain it about a lot better. But what it really did for me, Dan, was separate me from the herd. A lot of people are out there pushing product, pushing product, pushing product. And I don't want to join them. I don't want to be like the next. I want to go out there and say, have you, something that changed me is basically nitric oxide supplementation. They'll say, is that a product? No, that's a molecule, a miracle molecule. And then you take it from there. And you say, most people haven't heard about it, but you talk from your heart. Like I said, it's so important. And say, this is what I learned. In 1998, there was a Nobel Prize that was won by, and then you go into the history, and it says, it's amazing what I learned, and talk from the heart. It's amazing how it's transformed me and my family and the people I know, and some people have even stopped injecting themselves with insulin. It's really made a difference. And wait for the question, and then take it from there. But definitely, Dan, in answer to your question, the approach of changing it from a product to a science made a lot of difference, yes.
And then, David, a follow-up question to you. Did you find that branded you better in a positive way?
Absolutely, because people, when they started calling me, and whether it be because I was on the radio or because my YouTube videos or because, like you say, a three-way, whether it be on Zoom or talking to someone over the phone, they started noticing, well, you're different. You're not like a lot of other people who want to push you to buy right away. You're sharing knowledge, you're sharing information, and explaining to me how it does and what it works. So it definitely made a difference.
And intuitively, people would think that you would get more sales if you pushed a product, but from your experience, you found more sales because you no longer push the product. You create interest and a desire to know how they can use nitric oxide therapy to address their health issues, and then you position ProArginine Plus as our product of choice.
Exactly. Eventually, they'll ask the question, well, what are you taking? And I'll say, well, nitric L-arginine was, if you explained it correctly, you'll have already mentioned arginine as the supplement, the amino acid that's necessary for you to create nitric oxide, and of course the L-citrulline and everything else. Eventually, they'll ask the question, well, what is it that you take? And you're going to say, there's a lot of them out there, a lot of stores, GNC and Vitamin Shop that sell L-arginine product. I take what's considered the #1 product in the world by the physician's desk rep for the highest quality, and that's ProArginine Plus. I say, well, what can I get some? That's where you start the process of sharing how you take it and how much it costs, and it's an investment into the health. So.
Excellent. Thank you, David. And
Sure.
for those that are on the call and what was I doing with David indirectly? I was using one of the skills that we try and teach people, the art of asking questions. I was asking David some questions. I kind of knew what my answers were going to be. I couldn't always, this is live. This is not scripted. So I took a chance. But if you ask good questions and ask them in the right way, you're going to lead people to say, yes, I want to know about this. So thank you, David. I really appreciate all that you've done for helping the Hispanic community understand how much they need nitric oxide therapy to address their cardiovascular health issues.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. Sure. Anyone else with any questions before we close off today's call?
Dan, this is Judy.
Yes, Judy.
And thank you so much for the resources that we have on our team to help us with sponsoring. Not only, a new distributor coming in, but I think what we need to remember is that as a sponsor, we have responsibility to not only share this information, but to keep in touch with our distributors. So as they get questions and they get stumped, we are there to be able to support them and encourage them along the way. And we can keep sending them back to the site and then coming back and finding out what is their next challenge. Send them back to the site. It helps save us time, and it keeps us connected with our new distributors.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I use this site all the time. This week I had a person, African American, who wants to market the product, saw one of the videos but couldn't remember where the video was. So I asked her, are you talking about the video that discusses how nitric oxide therapy can address cardiovascular health issues in Black America? She said, yeah, that's the video. So I told her, I can send you that link, and then you can share that with other people. So where did I find the link? I just went to the Synergy library, clicked on it. You know, I know what the video is because I wrote it, I produced it, but I don't remember the URL. I didn't want to go into my YouTube account to try and find it. So all I did is just click on that link. I clicked onto the health and business videos, and we're on Zoom, so it's going to take a little bit longer to load. But in there, in the first section, when it comes up and I click on it, as you can see, health videos, when I click on this, it's going to open up all these health videos, and here you can see the one that I sent to that person is this one here, how nitric oxide therapy addresses heart disease in Black Americans. So all I did is, again, I got to wait for the video to actually show up on my screen, and then once it shows up, there it is, I can right click, copy video URL, and then that's what I did. I sent her an email with the link to that video so that now she can share that video with other friends and family that are African American, Black American. We chose Black Americans for the title of this video because not everyone comes from Africa. You know, they other countries, have Black people. So we titled it Black Americans instead of African Americans. And again, David, one of the things that I've thought about doing, as one of my projects for December is to do a video like this for Hispanic Americans and put it up here on this channel that you would be able to use for the Hispanic community. And then you can take that, David, and you can then do the same video in Spanish. So we could put it up here and we'd have the English version that I would speak and we would have the Spanish version that you would speak. Again, it's understanding, utilizing, as David talked about, Judy talked about, your upline to help you find some of these different things that are located, and then you taking time to spend on this website that we created for you based upon, what your interest, what your marketing strategy is, so that you can find where your resources are located in the library or on the resource page or in the training page. Again, like anything, finding your shortcuts. My shortcut, go to the Synergy library, click on the videos, find the video that I want, copy the link. That works faster than me trying to scroll through my Dan Hammer Health YouTube channel. Anyone else with any final questions before we say goodbye? All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for your time today. This has been recorded. It will go out in Tuesday's email. We won't talk to you until next Saturday. So for everyone, have a blessed Thanksgiving Day. May that be a wonderful time with family as you enjoy some great food and any football games that are on that day. I'm sure there'll be at least 3 of them on the NFL channel. So anyways, thank you everyone. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.